Ben, your thoughts on the fifth Test match?
I think now we're at the sort of end of the series. Obviously I don't give too much away whilst the series is going on. But look, I think it's fair to say, and man enough to say, that since the first game that we've been outplayed by the better team. There's been small moments in every game since the first one where we've sort of give a little bit back, but we've just not been able to manage to maintain that for long enough periods. And obviously in Test matches you need to prolong those periods of time where you're on top of the opposition, and every time we sort of did that, India were always able to scrap it back towards the momentum of them. And obviously sitting here now, the series is done. 4-1, we know that we've been sort of done by the better team. But then me, how I am, I already start looking ahead towards what we've got coming up in the summer. We've got 12 more Test matches to look at and focus on, and the things in which I think we can take on and take some real positivity from is quite a few things. We've seen the partnership at the top of the order with Zach and Ducky, just become more formidable. We found obviously Shoaib Bashir and Tom Hartley, Joe Root's coming into some good form, and very small sample size, but obviously me coming back into some sort of competitive bowling now. So, when you look ahead to what we've got coming up in the summer in a short frame time, there's a lot of positives to take forward from that, but obviously not taking away the disappointment from this tour.
Over those next 12 Test matches, how do you see this team evolving?
Well, look, I think we obviously take this series on the chin. We came here with high hopes, and especially after the first game, after winning that, things were sort of looking really good for us. But I guess as a team, we've got to sort of understand that when you do get that period, or when you are on top of a game, it's about trying to make sure that we stay on top for longer, and not giving the opposition a sniff. And you can use disappointment, one or two ways. You either let it eat you up and bring you down, or you look at it, reflect on it, and try and use it as a way to make you a better player and a better team. And that's definitely what I think this team is about: is that we use disappointing games or disappointing tours as a way to progress ourselves as a team and as players. Right.
So you see, before there's been moments where you've said the teams need like a kick up the bum, and you've been willing to give that, but for the majority of the time, the message stays consistent: don't get too high, don't get too low. With this match being the anomaly where you've been well beaten as opposed to it being kind of a tight battle, is this one of those occasions where the team's kind of given that kick up the bum, or is it stay the same, we're okay?
No, I don't necessarily. Sorry about that. I was just trying
to
fathom what you meant. No, I don't. Look, I think playing at this level, we all know and understand where the things have gone wrong for us, as a collective. And that's the thing about, team sport, is that you win together, you lose together. And I think everyone knows, without really having to sit people down and, give them a slap on the wrist, as people might say about this, that and the other. We know that when we have been on top of the games, that we need to, prolong those periods of doing that. And you wouldn't get to this level without understanding that. We've had some great success over the last 2 years. This is the first time since I've taken over captaincy where we've been thoroughly outplayed on a consistent basis. And I think everyone in there knows where those periods have been and why we find ourselves sitting here at 4-1. But losing and disappointment is sometimes the greatest thing for a team who've had so much success, and really makes you want to drive what we have achieved over the last 2 years even further on.
Is disappointment the overriding emotion looking back on this Test series?
Well, I think that overall, yeah. But me being the person that I am, and I'm, as I said at the start there, I'm looking at what we've got coming up, and I'm looking what we can take on into the summer in England, and then obviously with our tours to Pakistan and New Zealand after that. It's very exciting for us going forward, and I always try and take the positives out of whatever we do. And there is definitely some positives that we can take away, but that doesn't hide the fact how disappointed that change room is, how disappointed I am for the team that have come out here and put a lot of hard work in over the 8-9 weeks that we've been here. Obviously pretty disappointed, but now all the focus and energy is going to go into what we can do over the next sort of 12 to 18 months.
And a word on Jimmy Anderson, 700 Test wickets.
Amazing, incredible. Just 700 Test wickets is a lot, It sounds like, but I look at that, there's a lot of balls bowled, and that is a fair few. But yeah, look, obviously, what he is to this team and the inspiration that he gives a lot of people, not only on the field that he plays with, but also people watching the game. He's an absolute champion of cricketer, and obviously deservedly is, now with the wickets that he's got, it's gone down as one of the greatest seamers to ever play the game, if not the best. And
how are you feeling with your own bowling? Were you happy with your 5-over spell yesterday?
Yeah, I was very sort of. Because it's been 9 months and I've not actually bowled a competitive ball.
Keep going, you'll be alright.
So 9 months in between bowling, competitive balls, and obviously doing all the work in the nets and training and stuff like that, but you can never replicate what it's like to bowl out in the middle with the adrenaline and stuff like that. I honestly couldn't bowl one more over after that 5-over spell because it was completely different. But for me, for confidence-wise, knowing that I can run in and bowl, with more intensity than I've found I've been at training is really good signs to me. I'm desperate to get back out in the field and play the role that I have done for so long now, and I'm really excited for what we've got coming up in the summer and being able to not only influence the game with the bat and my captaincy, but now also with the ball.
So what is up next for you? Are you going to go back and play some county championship, or is it rest and recovery?
Yeah, look, we've just finished a tour. It's been a long tour, a long hard tour. So get back, get a bit of feet up. Really looking forward to going back and seeing the family, and then we'll go from there.
Perfect. Ben, thanks very much.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.